I am going to call the Finance Committee meeting to order at 6:32.
And I'll open the select board at 6:32. Thank you very much.
All right. I'll let you do your thing, Mike. You're good at reading this by now, so.
Meetings of the Finance Committee are recorded for transmission, and Select Board are recorded for transmission on Rutland Public Access Television and YouTube pursuant to Governor Baker's order of March 12th, 2020, suspending certain provisions of the Open Meeting Law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people who may gather in one place. This meeting of the Town of Rutland Finance Committee and Select Board will be recorded via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and the general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and or parties with a right and or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on Rutland's website at www.townofrutland.org. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so in the following manner: by watching Rutland Community Television live on channel 192 and on the town's website, www.townofrutland.org, or by viewing recordings of the meeting on the town's YouTube page following the meeting's completion. No in-person attendance by members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on Rutland's website a video recording, transcript, and or comprehensive recording of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting's completion.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. First order of business is to review the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion to approve the minutes as printed.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Dave? All right. Comments, questions, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor? Roll call. Ted?
Oh, do I have to unmute you, Ted? Maybe. Go ahead.
Ted?
Aye.
Carol?
I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
Tom?
Aye.
Karen?
Aye.
Peter?
Aye.
Motion passes. New business. The first thing I'd like to bring up, Mike, would be if you could talk about the meeting on this coming Monday.
Sure. So the Select Board at their last meeting asked myself and a group of department heads to meet to come up with a plan to go into town meeting. Because Finance Committee is also an integral part of town meeting, they've invited the Finance Committee to join in on that meeting. Both groups are posted for Monday at 6 p.m. That's because the posting deadline was half an hour ago to make sure that we were able to post for both of those. So we posted with the intent if the Finance Committee didn't feel like that was necessary, we could at least cancel it. But it is posted. The group that met this morning to discuss this included myself, the chairman of the Board of Health, Scott Gilroy, our health agent, Rich Stevens, the fire chief, Seth Knight, Anita Carlson, our town clerk, and Randy Jordan, the town moderator. So we had a big meeting today to discuss some of the logistics for town meeting, and we'll be presenting that report to the board on Monday and to you all if you so choose to join.
Any comments from the finance?
Just a question. So will that be sent out to all of us via just like a Zoom type of thing like you've been doing?
Correct.
Yep. And then if we decide to go, we go?
Yep. Kind of like the Select Board does for these meetings.
Gotcha.
So if we have a quorum, then we'll open. If we don't have a quorum, then we won't. But I think it's important that we, know what's going on and how they're looking at presenting this.
It's sure to be a different town meeting than we've normally seen before.
What time is the meeting Monday?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Any idea as to what time, where that is on the agenda for the select board meeting, time-wise?
I mean, it's at the beginning of new business, but the board has taken things out of order before. I feel like that's at the discretion of the board.
Sheila, do you have any idea?
She's unmuting and coming back in.
Okay.
Where would you like it?
Well, we're just thinking if we had it in the beginning, that way we can get out of your way and you guys can go forward.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what you have on your agenda, so.
it's actually, it's not a long agenda, it's just dense, if that makes sense. You know, because we'll be going over the warrant. So we need to do this first in order, at least to me, to start placing warrant articles. So yeah, we can take this out of order. We'll do our usual. We'll open up, we'll do minutes and the payroll warrants, and then we'll go right into this.
Okay.
Actually, Mike, you could probably update the agenda and just repost it.
Okay, move it up top, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Sheila, and I see that Jeff Stillings has his hand up as well.
Yep.
I was just going to ask the chair of my board to make every effort to accommodate our FinCom, move them up to the beginning of our agenda.
Awesome. Thank you. Sheila. All right. We had the non-union COLA as part of our discussion. I'm gonna ask that we table that again till next week. I'd like to get some more information, and Mike and I had talked about it. And I just think I'd like to get some harder numbers on the budget from the school. And I think the schools are looking at doing something. I'm just not sure where it's going to be coming from. But at their last meeting, they were looking at some of their rainy day funds. So I'd like to hold off on that if you guys don't have a problem with that. Okay. So let's move on to those town meeting, the warrant articles, Mike, because you've got some changes or some things that you want to discuss.
Yes, let me just pull it up here on my screen, and then I'll pull it up for everyone. So you'll see in your folders that there is a color-coded warrant currently. When these are printed, obviously the color code will not be there anymore. But if something is in green, that means that department head has said if we need to hold this for a later time, that it's not going to affect the department negatively. And they understand that we are in a situation that is unprecedented, as often as we are saying that now. And that if we need to hold off because we need to save free cash, that's fine for these articles here. So you'll see Article 2, which is the police radar signs. That was the $5,800 in free cash, is in green. The warrant binding from the town clerk's office, the trees from the DPW, and then the street survey. Those were all things that those department heads said if we needed to hold off for another meeting because of free cash availability, they were fine with. The ones that are in yellow, which is the purchase services line item for the public safety building, and the stop signs at the intersection of East County Road and Wachusett Street. Those, both Director Buckley and Chief Knife believe there are other funding sources for them if we need to. Chief Knife did mention the reserve fund for his shortage in the public safety building, public services line item, and Director Buckley said he thought he could use Chapter 90 funding to get the signs if we needed to save extra free cash on it. And then at the top in yellow, everything in yellow is the stuff that, in bright yellow is the stuff that could change, just like we had done before with the color coding of the numbers. So the Glenwood School parking lot, Saturday, June 27th, that should change at 4 p.m. That's the potential plan that we'll reveal on Monday.
Okay. Any comments or questions on the proposed changes?
So Mike, I guess my question would be the process. Are these articles that are on the warrant now?
No.
If they're not on the warrant,
no, none of these are. In fact, the select board cannot vote to officially place something on the warrant until we have an official set time and date.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if this is representative of what we would think that the warrant would be, are the green items, the items that would be taken off?
Green and the duller yellow. So like these ones here too. If
Okay, so
the finance committee believes that we should go with the other funding source.
so we won't even show it to the town.
Correct.
Okay.
And the select board's still going to, vote and talk about this as
Yes.
well.
Well, and I understand that. I'm just trying to understand the process. And we don't, I guess we don't vote on, is the signs and the roadway, are they all separate articles if they do get on the warrant?
Yes.
So again, we're not showing it to anybody.
What this would do, if you'll just give me one quick second, is I think right here. So where we currently stand with free cash expenditures is in the top one that's color coded to match the warrant.
Yep.
So if we were to put everything on and everything were to pass, would be down to $105,693.23. If we were to take all the color coded ones off and everything else were to pass, we'd be down to $155,993.23. So this saves us ballpark 50 grand in free cash. And again, the reason why the LED sign is on there is because we are required by law to put that on because it was a citizen's petition.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mike, I don't see my hand raised feature, but can I ask a question through, I guess, both chairs?
I mean, it's good with me if it's good with them.
I'm fine.
Regarding the citizens petition, is it possible for us to maybe, look, I know Lou is the one that put this forward, and he's kind of sat in these positions, and he has a really good understanding as to what's going on. Maybe we invite him to Monday's meeting, and is there a way that if he revokes it, he can revoke it and wait till fall if we have a conversation about the importance of kind of trying to keep things lean at this point? Is that a possibility?
I know there is a process to do that. I would just have to check to see. I don't know if everyone who signed the petition also has to agree to that. So I just don't know the procedure. I can look and get back.
Okay, because maybe if the rest of the board agrees, then at least to invite Lou Canacchioli in to the conversation on Monday, we can do that. And then, Mike, by that time, you have clarification as to what that process is, if everyone thinks that's a good idea.
I think this one is a Sheila answer.
So resident petitions are a bit sacrosanct, and it would be inappropriate for the board to publicly advise a resident to remove his petition.
I think you wouldn't be advising. I'm just asking to have a conversation.
In a public meeting. I do want Mike to look into the process. It is entirely possible that just like a second would have to be withdrawn, that every single person that signed the petition would have to withdraw their signature, which would make the process burdensome and a bit dangerous in these times. If they had to do it in person, it's possible that they don't have to. We don't know these answers yet. But I can honestly say, and this isn't just for Rutland, this is everywhere. Resident petitions come in, they are not touched. They are simply placed, and they're not questioned.
All right. Well,
until you
forbid I question, and apparently we're going to save lives by not having people sign. So we'll save lives. I'm going to err on the side of lives, Sheila.
Well, no, Mitch. I think where I was going to end this with is the board being the board that places the articles has no say over the placement of this article. The people who have the say over this article are only the town meeting. I mean, this is the the resident petition is exactly that. It does not need the approval of the board. It does not need anything from the board. It goes on. It goes straight to town meeting. It goes straight to the people. And at that point, that's where it gets argued up or down. I understand 100% where you are headed. It's possible that Mr. Carnacchioli might on the floor argue the same thing. I'm just saying it is not an appropriate position of the board to ask him to do that in a board meeting. our only role is to place it as required by law.
Understood. And I think I wasn't really asking Lou to pull it. It was more just to maybe have a conversation as to what this is going to look like or what this might look like on the floor. To pick his brain about what he feels about the item. That's really all I got.
Can I ask a quick question?
Mr. Chairman, question.
We've got Tommy, Carol, and Jeff who all have hand raised right now.
Carol.
Just a quick question. When there's a citizen petition like this, is there or can we make a time limit for the introduction by the petitioner? I don't want to be there forever. Sorry.
We do not run this meeting. This is absolutely the moderator's meeting, and Randy Jordan would set those ground rules.
So I should talk to Randy.
Okay. Tom?
This is, as you just said, this is a citizen's petition. You got to leave it on there. That's what the citizens want. They want it on the warrant. We had the discussion the last couple of meetings about we got to discuss it. We can present our opinions on the town meeting floor and advise them what we're thinking. And if we decide to advise against it, we can explain why, et cetera, et cetera. I don't see any problem with bringing Mr. Cannacchioli in and just talking with him and tell him what the position of the boards are and what we're talking about. But other than that, it's got to go to the town meeting and we got to present arguments that we want to present then and let the people vote.
All right.
Jeff also and Sheila both have their hands up.
Sheila?
I'm sorry.
Jeff's first, I think.
I just totally concur with Tom and Sheila's point of view. And if we were to invite Mr. Cannacchioli in there, would you also need to invite the other signatories? There's 10 plus other citizens who have submitted that petition in there who probably have an equal voice to Mr. Cannacchioli. So for that reason, I concur with my chair.
I'm fine, Ian.
All right. Any other comments or questions on maybe the other money from the public safety building and their ideas of where they think the money can come, and also the Chapter 90 funding? Nobody's got a question on that?
Yeah, well, I do, because I'm looking at the fact that we have a lot of roads that are falling apart in town that really need some serious amount of work. And I would say that the Chapter 90 money that we get really needs to go where it's supposed to go.
Anybody else comments? I can't see who's raising their hand, Mike. So
no hands raised at this time.
Okay. And I'd like to get maybe a more clarification on the for everybody on the 10,000 from the reserve fund, Mike. If you want to just touch on that, please.
Yeah. So this is the article stuff that we talked about before, where the 10,000 came from. We currently have 20,000 left in the reserve fund, and that is solely up to the finance committee to decide what appropriations get made out of that account. It's made for when line items go into the red, and we have to bring them back up because we are only allowed to deficit spend in snow and ice or COVID-related purchases. So that is the thoughts behind that. We know we're going to have to come for a reserve fund request for town council. But so that is the other option, is he could put in 10,000 there. There's another option to do an interdepartmental transfer, in which case if there is money left over in another account that we haven't spent yet, we can appropriate that money through a vote of the finance committee and the select board into that account. And it doesn't have to be from one line. It can be from 12 different line items back into that account to try to bring it back up that way as well. But he said we could explore those two options rather than doing a free cash one. He just thought the free cash would be quicker.
Any other comments or any questions on that? All right, let's look at that, both those options, and let's see where we are with the line items that we have out there. So okay. Let's bring that back up again in just a finance committee meeting where we can just sit and discuss it and take a look at the different accounts.
Ian,
And chapter
and then
90
the
money,
last-
I got to. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go right ahead. That's fine.
I was just saying I've got to agree with Karen on that chapter 90 money. I mean, the roads are really a mess, and we should be taking care of those, and that's what the money's there for. And the signs were part of the town meeting last year. I mean, that was this recommendation that came back.
What I was going to say was, if you look at the free cash list or at the motions, that $32,000 that's there for snow and ice deficit, that is the actual, knock on wood, so long as it doesn't snow again in May, that is the actual number. So I put in this year's updated totals.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, comments on these?
One thing I will say too is, if the board does vote to set the town meeting on Monday and they will have the ability to start placing these articles, in which case the finance committee would then have you guys have continued to have the ability to recommend on either of these, but it'll be formal at that point.
Yep. I'd ask the select board, Sheila, if you guys would, on Monday, if you guys are going to be starting looking at these, if you guys could hold off on that public safety building one to let us take a real look at it.
She's got her thumbs up. So, yeah.
Okay. I can't see, so I've only got 3 of you on the screen today for some reason. All right. Any other old business? All right. I think we're done. I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn, and we will reconvene Monday at 6 p.m. and learn more, and then we will have a meeting next Thursday, and we'll start going over all of these accounts and start moving this forward. And hopefully we have some more information from the schools. Hoping to get some money back from them. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Do I have a second? All right. Let's do the roll call. Ted.
Aye.
Carol. Dave.
Aye.
Tom.
Aye.
Karen.
Aye.
And Peter.
Aye.
All right, we have a motion to adjourn and all in favor. So if we can just keep our eyes, we're going to try to get for next week's meeting, going through more of the budgets and take a look at that those accounts for the public safety building, and just keep moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Sheila,
night.
before we adjourn on the board side, if I could just make a quick PSA that I was asked to make by our health agent. We are seeing an uptick in cases of COVID for people who are in their 20s and 30s. So just reminding people that even though the regulations are starting to lighten up, to still take the precautions that are necessary, wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and things like that. We do still have 13 cases from our 43 that we've had total since the year started. But we are noticing that a lot of the newer cases are people mid-20s, mid-30s. So just please continue to take the precautions that are being given by our public health officials. Thank you.
Is that specific to Rutland?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to adjourn with a roll call.
Sheila, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Stillings, aye.
For City, aye.
Whiteman, aye.
Wayne said aye.
Wayne's giving the thumbs up.
I know. Bye. Thank you. Thanks, all. Good night.